Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lender Act, NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Florida 76508, Georgia 69178, Illinois 031.0058339, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington 237926. Heidi Cycle Points DBO 1666881, Arizona 101648.
She's a mortgage mom. She can get things done. When you're in need and don't know where to go, pick up the phone and call Mom.
All right, well, welcome to Mortgage Mom Radio. I'm Debbie Marcoux, and as always, I've got Heidi Schlegelpoints with me. How you doing, Heidi?
I'm good. How about you?
I am feeling fantastic this week. It like literally turned the corner. Today is exactly a 1 month from my surgery. And I'm still like hurting at night. I'm still kind of sore here and there, but no pain medicine unless I've really overdone myself, like over the weekend, chasing after the baby and changing diapers and just more than usual stuff. But really no pain medicine, and I'm starting to sleep better. I'm getting like 6 hours at a time before I wake up in between, because maybe I accidentally tried to roll over. You know, you're just kind of subconsciously, you're moving around in bed, trying to get to a comfortable position. So I am feeling much better this week. Much better.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. That's fantastic.
I know. How are you feeling this week? Because I know with me out for 2 weeks, it took at least 2 weeks for you to get somewhat sort of caught up, which made it 1 month of hell for Heidi.
Yeah.
How are you feeling this week?
I'm good. I'm still a little tired, still catching up a little bit, but definitely much better.
That's
much
awesome.
better.
Good,
So.
good. All right, so I just want to let everybody know we are live at 5 p.m. in California, Pacific Standard Time or Pacific Time, or I don't even know what they call it anymore. Isn't there another word for it? I say that, I think, every week. But we're live at 5. And if you guys want to watch us and you want to watch us do it live and you want to ask us questions, please put that into the feed. If you guys are watching us, I can already see that my dad's popped in. He's one of our, weekly viewers, which I love.
Yep, he's over there on YouTube saying, "Hi guys, sorry I missed last week. He was a little busy."
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'm surprised we haven't seen Houseboat Billy already yet this morning. But if you guys are this afternoon, I guess it's not this morning. If you guys are out there and you want to see us do it live, you want to ask us questions, you want to interact with us, you guys have to go to our YouTube, search for Mortgage Mom Radio. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and you click that notification bell so that you're turning on all notifications. That way you know when we have uploaded a video or when we do go live on Wednesdays. So do not miss out. We want you to interact with us. We want you to ask us those questions. We want you to get your information to us. So again, if you guys are watching, please let us know that you're there. Say hi in the feed. If you have questions while we do the show today, please feel free to do that. If you think there's something funny or you want to interact or you've got a comment to make to something that me and Heidi talk about, we'd love to hear from you. More interaction, the better. The other thing I want to let you guys know is that if you want to get a hold of us, please feel free to do so. You can give us a call at 844-935-3634. Heidi, what does that spell?
We lend for you.
That's right. We lend for you. So it's 844 we lend LEND and the number 4. So we lend for you. That is the best way to call us. If you call, Matt's going to try to get you over to a loan officer immediately so that you're not waiting. If we are busy, then he will book an appointment for you. If you go to the website or you have our phone app, you guys can actually book your own appointment. So go to mortgagemomradio.com and actually select a day and time that is best for you with your work schedule. You're listening to us right now, whether you're watching YouTube, you're listening on radio over the weekend, or you are listening by podcast or watching a YouTube later at a later date. Whatever the time is, the date is that is good for you, schedule the appointment. If you don't see a time that is available on that calendar, then call the office and we'll get you hooked up. I mean, there was somebody last week that needed Carrie to call at 9 p.m. And she did it. So we will make sure that if you have special circumstances, I mean, obviously we're not going to call you at 2 a.m. That's not going to happen our time. 9 p.m. is probably about the latest call we'll make. And I've personally made phone calls before at 7 a.m. So if there is special circumstances, you're working a night shift and you're getting off at 7 and you've got an hour to keep your eyeballs open before you pass out, we can make sure that we are handling it and getting somebody to call you and talk to you. So please feel free to reach out. We would love to hear from you. You guys have my questions at mortgagemomradio.com. That is the email to send me your questions. I'm going to get those answered for you. Last weekend with Mother's Day, Carrie was actually sweet enough to be on call. So she did answer. We had quite a few emails come through from people that were looking for advice. And Carrie actually answered all of those, being the person that was working the weekend. So that was very, very nice. It gave me my Mother's Day weekend off. But if you send a message to questions at mortgagemomradio.com, I'm going to get those answered for you. So how do you get the phone app? If you'd like to use that, you're going to text the word mom to 36260. That's text mom to 36260. And that is how you get our phone app. You can book your appointment, run your payments, contact us, send us an email, watch our podcast or listen to our podcast, watch our YouTube. You guys can do just about everything that you need from that phone app if you just don't want to turn that computer on. So keep that in mind. Text mom to 36260. So before we jump into mortgage, because we've actually got some really big announcements we want to make about Experian. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. This is kind of a really big deal. And I know that I've got Experian credit monitoring and they're constantly bothering me to sign up for this tool. So we want to make sure that we bring this to you because it is a big, big deal. So don't go anywhere. But before we do that, I want to know, other than not quite as tired, I want to know, how is your week? What is going on?
Well, I'll bring up the funny event yesterday that happened.
Okay.
So I texted you yesterday, said had to run out.
Yes.
Should be back soon. Well, I had to run out because, as most of our listeners know, my grandson lives with me.
Yes.
So we're working, doing our thing, and here comes my daughter-in-law. Can Nana help? Travis has a pee up his nose. Now,
oh no.
And I'm like, okay. Now, about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, Travis had a chunk of apple up his nose.
Oh no.
And that, took 3 of us, 2 to hold him down, could not get the apple out. Finally, I was like, you know what? I've got really long nails. So I stuck my pinky up his nose and I grabbed that apple out.
Oh no.
So this one, I'm looking, I was like, I don't even see the pee. It's all the way up in his nasal cavity. He has shoved that thing so far.
Oh no.
So obviously, my daughter-in-law, she's young and Travis just freaking out. So we go over to urgent care and they have held this poor boy down. They've got things going up his nose and but it's a pee.
Yeah.
There's just like no way to pull it out. So after about 35 minutes of kicking, screaming, 2 nurses, a mom, a grandma, it's not coming out. So we leave and they say, you got to go to the children's hospital.
Right.
They're really the only ones that could possibly get it out. So we come home just to let him settle. And they were talking about a mother's kiss. Maybe that would work. Well, my daughter-in-law says, I've already tried it. So I try a neti pod or Medipod. And I'm thinking, they said flush it out. Maybe that'll work.
Sure.
This poor kid is, torture, right? Just for a pee up his nose. And finally she says, well, maybe Nana wants to try it because that's what they call me. I said, fine. So I hold this kid down, strap him down, blow over his mouth as hard as I can. And all I get is a pee and snot all over my face and in my mouth.
Oh, no.
But
hey, you got it out. He didn't have to
We
go
got
to
it out.
children's hospital. There was no more digging. So thank
No more
goodness for that.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys need, okay. So I know she is a young mom and obviously you're busy, you're working, you're not watching him. You're busy, right?
Right.
But yeah, I think it might be time for just a little bit until he gets to the age that he knows that he can't stick things up his nose, that we take away anything that would be small enough to get up there.
Yeah, that was the discussion is maybe no more tiny little pieces, definitely no more peas.
Yeah, I mean they've
And the
got,
best part
they've
was,
got child could choke, for a
right,
reason on
well,
these
the best part was this
packages.
happened while she was feeding him lunch.
Oh no. So he's got his
Oh,
little peas there and he grabbed it and just
and he just,
right up.
yep, boop,
Right up. Yeah,
fast
nothing.
as he could.
She couldn't have even stopped him. It's not like she just had little tiny, toys or anything out that
No,
yeah.
it's just one of those, little ones are quick,
Yeah.
and he
Oh.
thought it was the funniest thing in the world until, all of this happened. But yeah, so that was,
Well, maybe it was traumatic enough that he doesn't want to put anything back up his nose anymore.
I'm really hoping, but today he was sticking stuff in his ears. So,
Okay.
you know, he's 18 months.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really my catching up with mom.
He likes
That's-
crevices.
He does like crevices, hand down the pants, stuff in the ears, stuff in the nose. It just, he's a
Yeah.
boy.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
That is so
so-
funny. Well, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would say take away anything at all that could get up there. Obviously, food, there's nothing you can do about that. You're trying to teach them to eat and finger foods and
Yeah.
yeah.
So that was our adventure. That's why I text you. I'm like, I should be back shortly.
Yep.
It doesn't look like this is happening.
Oh,
But that
boy.
was mine. How's your week?
It's been non-eventful really. It's been nice. I just, I'm finally like turning that corner and feeling better and like every day I feel just a little bit better, than I did the day before, which is great. And like a lot of the swelling that I got to tell you, the one thing about this tummy tuck is the swelling where the actual incision at is where it's the absolute worst. And it is so swollen that the swelling itself hurts. And you almost wonder, like, is there something wrong in there? Do I have to go out and get something drained? Maybe, maybe I've got a seroma, you're wondering like what, and you're like, I'm wearing like my garments, but then I'm also binding around the garment as tight as I can. Cause the tighter that you are, the better that you feel. And it keeps, that swelling down. So it's like for a while there, I was like, my gosh, there's really something wrong. Like, I think I might have to go get a needle put in my stomach and, because they do that for people, right?
Right, yeah.
But it's like all of a sudden, I would say, what day was it? Sunday. Sunday was a very rough day. Or was it Saturday? Matt, what day did I text you and you asked me to come for food? Was it
That would
Sunday?
be Mother's Day.
It was Mother's Day. So Mother's Day was a really rough day for me. I still had a couple of scabs, and you're already wearing the scar tapes because you're trying to make sure you're not getting the scarring. And I know this might be a little bit of TMI for the guys that are listening, but it's part of life, guys. Just listen for a minute and I'm over it. Anyway, so I pulled the scar tape off, and as we all know, if you have a scab and it gets moist, then it can like look kind of green and it can be kind of watery. And so I pulled the scar tape off, and that's what it looked like. And I thought, oh gosh, okay, so maybe, I hope I'm not getting something infected, like you're kind of freaking out. So I don't wear that, but I put like a gauze pad where it was doing that at. And then I put my garment on. And then I'm start feeling like burning. And, so I take the garment off and then I grab the gauze pad and it's stuck.
Oh,
So so I rip it off, and then I'm on these blood thinners from all the blood clots from, the surgery. And so it's bleeding everywhere. And so then I'm like bleeding, and it's like, it's just, it's like stinging, right? And then you start freaking out. Did I just open my incision? Well, no,
Right.
It was literally just an itty bitty tiny little piece of skin that had just a little bit of tiny scab on it that got stuck to this gauze pad. But it was like, then I couldn't wear the binder because I wanted to let it air out. Because if you don't let it air out, then it won't scab. So I'm wearing my pants halfway down to my off of my hips. Matt's sending me a message. Hey, I made ribs. You want to come over? I'm like, kind of having a rough day. I'm really swollen. I'm wearing my pants halfway down around my hips. Like everything's hanging out right now.
Right.
I'm stinging. I'm bleeding. And he's like, ooh, happy Mother's Day.
right. He's like, you stay home, enjoy.
So that was, but it was funny because once I let that thing air out, and it was done. Because I mean, it was like even the scar was swollen and lifted, and I thought, oh my goodness, one side's super flat, but the other hip, now I'm gonna have all these keloid scars, and it was like after I finally got that, I got the scar tape off and the redness went away, and the scabbed, then now all of a sudden it's flat like the other side. I'm feeling better, and it's like every day now I'm feeling better. So, I don't know what the heck happened. It's not like 24 hours can make that big of a difference, but I feel like it did.
Sometimes it can. You
Yeah.
never know. I mean, I had that surgery from you because of you. You made me have the cancer removed.
Yes.
Still blame you for my scar. But just that one day that they finally, had that last little, and then it was like 24 hours later, no more pain. The healing started way better. And it just sometimes you just need that little extra, whatever it is.
Yeah. And it gets you on your way. And now it's like, I feel like I'm starting to sleep more hours at night. I'm starting to feel better. So no, that's catching up with mom with me. It's, I kind of had a rough Mother's Day, but I feel like I've turned the corner and I'm feeling better. I'm not crabby. I'm sure you can tell when you're talking to me, I'm not as crabby as I was.
Yes.
I'm still very tired. I mean, I've got a month worth of didn't sleep for a month.
Right.
So I've got a lot of hours still left to make up, but like getting 6 hours straight before waking up is huge at this point.
Yeah.
So, onward and upward. We're getting there. And if somebody asked me, would you do it again? I absolutely would. Hands down, 100%. So anyway, all right, on to mortgage. This is Mortgage Mom Radio. I told you boys we'd get over it really fast, so don't go anywhere. If you guys want to give us a call, do that. It's 844-935-3634. Heidi?
We lend for you.
That's right.
844, we lend for you.
That's right. LEND.
LEND, the number 4.
There she is. She did it. I love it. LEND and the number 4. We lend for you. You guys can go to the website, go to mortgagemomradio.com, or listen to the podcast. Watch us on YouTube. You want to see us do it live, you got to tune in on Wednesdays at 5 California time. That is Pacific time. And you guys can watch the show. And, that's the best way to do it. You want to get on the calendar, you can book your own appointment right through the website. So, all right. So let's talk about Experian. Yeah.
Let's talk about Experian.
Let's talk about Experian. So Experian has this thing called a boost. And do you know what the actual word is for it, Heidi?
Honestly, I think it's just a credit boost.
Yeah. Carrie's watching. Carrie, if you know what it is, so Experian wants you. Do you know what it is, Matt?
No, I just was going to jump in with the comments.
Yeah,
there.
do it.
And Pam joined, said, does someone need a nappy?
Yes.
And let us know that she shared. And then, Carrie jumped on and said, hi, ladies. Heidi looking nice and tan. I'm jealous.
Right?
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Very jealous. That's somebody that doesn't have children under the age of, we're going to say 7 at home. Mm-hmm. She does have her grandson, but still there's a mom and dad there. So little different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I pick and choose my duties with my grandson.
Yes, exactly. All right. So I believe it's called Experian Boost, and maybe Carrie can look that up for us since she's watching. Okay, yeah. So she just said just a credit boost, and I think it's called Experian Boost. So basically what it is that you can add your utility bills to your credit report. So if you've got, electric, gas, water, any of your, and it's utility bills, any utility bills at all that you want to add to your credit report, you can do that in order to establish credit history, on-time payments with additional accounts. So it does help you to boost that credit score with Experian. So this actually started, I would say, and I remember when it first came out, I believe we had the Credit Cowboy on the show, and we literally asked him, so how do you think that this is going to affect mortgage? And he was like, I don't know. And we're like, well, we don't really know either. And then when it first came out, all the underwriters really didn't know what to do with it. There was no guidance at all from Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, no guidance from anybody. What do we do when these people have these boosts? We obviously, when we are qualifying somebody with your debt ratio, do not hold your utilities against you. But if you have a solar bill and your solar is on your credit report, we're going to hold you accountable for the monthly payment on the solar. So Fannie didn't come out, and I want to say it's been 2 years. I'm gonna actually go all the way back, and I'm gonna say it was probably late 19, possibly, maybe.
Yeah, it was definitely in 19.
Yeah.
It was 19 for sure. I just don't know when in 19.
I'm going to say like later 19, because I remember that
Yeah.
he came in and did it with us,
Mhm.
right? He was in the studio
Yes.
with us when we did it. So
He was.
Yeah. So I'm going to say it was late 19. So, okay, now this has been around for a year and a half, let's call it. Okay.
Yeah.
And haven't really known what to do. So up until recent, we have literally taken those bills that are showing up and we've excluded those monthly debts from the debt ratio in qualifying people. So on average, Heidi, when you're looking at these, and we see them all the time, what
Yes.
would you say is the number on average that you're seeing come across for electric and gas and water that people are, putting on their credit reports?
I would say, like, let's just say electric, right? When you have an electric bill, I'm seeing anywhere from 150 to 350
Mm-hmm.
for a monthly charge. You've got water. Water gets up there too. So I'm saying from $100 to 250.
Mm-hmm.
Gas, you're at $60, 30 to 60.
Mm-hmm.
No big deal. But I also noticed people are also adding their telephones, which is their internet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's upwards of 200.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So when you start adding all those together,
Mm-hmm.
you've got some significant payments. You got upwards of, $700 to
Yeah.
$1,000.
Yeah. Yeah. 5, 6, 7, depending on what you're telling them that you're paying on a monthly basis. So Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA have all come back and given us guidance now. And it just happened this week, right?
I just found out this
We
week.
just found out this week. So I mean, and it had to have been very, very recently because we deal with this all of the time. So it's just the
Correct.
most recent file that we've submitted that we excluded those debts, went into underwriting and came out with a big fat, okay? And they said that they have come out now with the guidance that we cannot remove those. We cannot exclude them from the debt ratio. We have to qualify you at that. So if you have $500, $600, $700 a month in extra debt that wouldn't necessarily be charged against you, imagine how that's changing how much that you can actually qualify for if you're trying to get pre-approved for a purchase or if you're trying to do a refinance. This is not something that when you've refinanced in the past that we would have held against you, or maybe you had never done it before and now this is the first time you're trying to refinance and you have done it since it came out, and now all of a sudden you don't qualify for the house that you've lived in for 5 years that you qualified for when you bought it. So it is a giant, giant difference in how much that you can qualify for and how it actually affects your debt to income ratio. So number one, I'm going to tell you that you shouldn't do the Experian Boost. If you're thinking about getting any kind of mortgage financing, do not do it. If you have done it and you're thinking about getting a mortgage loan, get rid of it. Do whatever you have to do to get it gone before the mortgage company pulls your credit report. So Heidi, if somebody comes to us and they have the boost and we pull the credit and there's these debts on there, let's talk about what is the process that we have to go through to get these off in order to get them pre-approved or qualified for the mortgage that they're applying for.
Okay. So a couple options. If you qualify with those, we're just going to leave it alone.
Yep.
However, a lot of them, like we said, they're very extensive monthly payments, and we can't exclude them. They do report as an installment, but they're not. They're revolving, right? Every month, these are populating, and every month that amount changes, just depending on what your payment is,
Right.
Especially water, power, So if you do not qualify, we are going to ask you to go back to Experian, have that removed, and we're going to rerun your credit. Now, what can happen is because you added that boost to boost your credit score, when they remove that boost, your credit score can drop. And we have to use that new score without those debts. And that is the reason that they are coming and saying you either hit them for the debts and use the score that they earned with that new credit rating, or you exclude them and utilize the score that they have without those credits.
Right. So let's think about it, right? Experian's telling you, "Hey, boost your credit score. Make your credit score better. Add these debts for this payment history." Well, your credit score is based on those monthly payments. So that credit score is not actually a real credit score unless we leave those debts there and we hit you for those debts. If we remove those debts, then your score is going to change, and that is your real credit score, but we're not hitting you for those monthly debts. So a lot of people don't quite realize that, and it will change. So if you're somebody that has had your credit report pulled, you've been pre-approved for a loan, you've been out looking at homes for the last couple of weeks, months, a year, you may need to call your lender back and make sure that you qualify with that boost on the credit report. And if you don't, like Heidi said, you've got to get it removed. Now, we have a couple of different ways that we can get it removed. You can remove it yourself. Do you have any idea, Heidi, how long that it takes for that to update?
30 seconds.
So it's fast. So they
It's
can
very
remove
fast.
it, and then we can go in and pull.
Right. You can go online, say, I want to remove this, and we can go in and pull it.
Okay.
Now, one thing I will say is a lot of people, this is very new for them. They just added it. It
Yeah.
truly hasn't affected your credit score yet. So that is a good thing, because boosting your credit, the way they sell it sounds like I'm boosting my credit now. You're not. You still need a history of those payments. So luckily, the one we just did, I asked them to remove it. They removed it. I reran it. It had zero impact on their credit score.
So, but they had probably had what, one payment that was there? Maybe?
About 2 months
Right.
worth of it.
Right.
So there really was no impact. However, if you've had it now for some time and you've seen that it has increased it, that's where you need to know when you remove it, it could impact you.
Right. And I would guess, just like a car loan, a mortgage loan, if you've had it for over 6 months, there is a good chance it's going to impact that score. If you've had it revolving on the credit report and showing up as paid on time for over 12 months, you're
yeah.
absolutely going to see a difference in your credit score. Unless you've got amazing credit already, tons of lines, zero late payments, very low debt to the limits, and you did it because you got the really irritating email that I get on a weekly basis. Add this to boost your score. Experian loves you for making your payments on time, but we could make your score better. Boost it. I mean, I literally get an email from Experian at least 2 to 3 times a week trying to get me to boost my score and trying to
Yes.
get me to add those utilities to my credit report. Why?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, don't do it. Unless you absolutely need it. And maybe you're struggling and your credit, you're trying to rebuild, and maybe you just have no credit at all and you're trying to build, right? And you don't have any intentions of applying for a mortgage within the next year or two, but you're just trying to build for whatever reason, whether it's brand new or you're trying to rebuild from coming back from maybe a really dark place that you were at. That's a different story. Do it. I mean, it will help your credit score. And down the road in a year from now, and you're trying to get a car loan, it will help your credit score. But just keep in mind, if you're going to do a mortgage, you're going to have to remove it. And so try to build your credit report with things that are true debts, true credit cards, true paying down your credit card balance to get it below certain limits. Try doing it in the the real way.
Right. While you're using that boost,
Yes.
also build it with true valid credit at the same time. So when you do need to remove that boost, you have already built up additional credit,
Right. Absolutely. So
is what I would say.
yes.
So yes, there's a couple ways we're going to ask you to remove it. Another way, if you're doing a conventional conforming loan, we're not doing a government loan, we're not doing
VA,
a
not
jumbo loan
FHA,
or a
not
VA
jumbo.
loan, then we can possibly just have you freeze your Experian and use
2 scores.
your 2 credit scores. We're still going to rerun it, get it with a frozen score, and run you off the 2 scores that you get. So that is also a potential option.
I like that. Anything
Yeah.
else, or those are the basic 2? Remove
That's-
it or freeze it.
Remove it or freeze it,
Right.
or include it.
Right.
Remove it, freeze it, or include it.
Okay, so we got 3
So,
options. So we're going to
we've got
include the
3.
debt that's already reporting. We are
Yep.
going to freeze the credit report. We're going to pull a 2-bureau credit report and hope that we can get a loan approval when we run it through the computer decision with just 2 scores instead of 3. And sometimes we can and sometimes we can't. It just
Correct.
depends on, your credit, those 2 bureaus, and what the algorithm is of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac when we're trying.
Right.
Or number 3 would be remove it entirely.
Remove the boost.
And then we repull credit with the boost gone. So
Correct.
those are the 3 options, but keep that in mind. This is something brand new that up until today, since the time that Boost started till, this week, as far as we're aware, so it probably happened sometime within the last, let's call it 30 days. I mean, I highly doubt it's been that long, because we get
Right.
somebody with a credit boost on their credit report just about every other day that we do an application. But let's just pretend mortgage moms didn't see it, didn't know about it. Let's call it 30 days. But it is now something that is potentially going to make or break your loan. So definitely wanted to get that out there. And if you have been pre-approved and you know that you've done that Experian boost, you need to call your loan officer back and make sure that you will either, 1, qualify with those payments that are on your credit report, or number 2, you're going to have to either freeze it, have them pull the 2-bureau, try to get you an answer, or 3, you're going to have to remove it and have them repull credit to get the new updated credit score. So very important for you to do those, to take those actions, or you're going to find that you're going to get your offer accepted finally. You're going to be in love with your home. You're going to be ready to move forward. You're going to get to your loan officer and they're going to tell you that you don't qualify, and you're going to be scrambling to do one of those 3 things at the beginning. And that's just not the way you want to get your transaction started. You're excited about buying a house. You just found your dream home. You're in love. And now all of a sudden you thought your loan was in place and now it's not. And your stomach's in knots and you don't know if you're going to get the house or not. And that's just not the way to start a transaction.
No. And things change, right? And that's why we do the show is you can go get pre-qualified and then something changes. And that's why you always want to stay in touch and keep communicating and make sure you know that you're still approved.
Right. Well, and what's funny? So I do want to say, I saw Aunt Lori popped on.
Oh, yep. And Lori says hi.
Hey, you know what? I got to say thanks, Aunt Lori, really. Thank you, Aunt Pam. Thank you, Dad. I mean, Heidi, we got to get your family watching. Carrie, we got to get your family watching. Matt, we got to get your family watching. Like, what is going on here? It's all of our followers are my family. We've got like 3 followers every week. I absolutely love it. But hey, if you guys are out there and you're listening on Saturday morning, you want to see us do it, you want to know what we look like, you want to be able to talk with us in the feed, you want to give us comments, you want to ask us questions, you guys have to watch us every single Wednesday. We are live at 5. That is Pacific time. If you're listening to podcasts, you're in another time zone. Just make sure that you guys are putting on your calendar that it is 5 Pacific time. Or even better, go to YouTube, subscribe to our channel. So just look for Mortgage Mom Radio and click on that notification bell so that you know when we go live. It's going to let you know on your phone or whatever it is, if you're on your computer. And that way you can click on us and you can watch us do the show. We want you guys to interact. The more information we can get, the more questions that we can get, the more interesting that the show becomes. So please follow along and watch us. If you want to talk to us, you want to give us a call about anything that we talk about, you call our office. It's 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. That is LEND and the number 4. Check us out on podcast if you like that. Listen to us on radio, listen to us on YouTube. Anywhere you guys want Mortgage Mom Radio, you can find us. Get our phone app, text the word MOM to 36260. And if you want to get a phone consultation at a time that works for you, book your own appointment. Go to mortgagemomradio.com and you guys can book your appointment right there on the website. So anyway, I just had to get that out because I haven't said it in a while. If you guys are liking the show, please give us a thumbs up. We'd really, really appreciate it. That does help our algorithm and it gets more people out there, more viewers that are searching for mortgage questions, mortgage advice, real estate. If you're putting something like that into YouTube, we're hoping that we're popping up, and we can't do that until we get more subscribers and we get more likes. So if we're helping you and you're liking what you're hearing and you've been in the zone to buy a home or to refinance and you need all of this advice and help us get out to more people. We'd really, really appreciate it. So I was going somewhere with that, which was, I don't remember, I've lost it. Oh, when you were talking about underwriting guidelines changing, right?
Yes.
They like you could be pre-approved today and something changes tomorrow, and now that pre-approval is worth nothing. That is the exact reason why I have been doing this show now since July of 2016. We are coming up on 5 years of Mortgage Mom Radio, and we have yet to run out of things to talk about. And that is because things really do change that often. And you'll hear it all of the time. Real estate agents, you guys, I know you're hearing me, and I know you've heard this excuse 100 times. Guidelines changed. All of a sudden, I'm so sorry, we're in escrow, and now we've got a problem. Guidelines changed. So number one, a lot of times that can be an excuse for a loan officer when it comes up. It truly can be. But I'm going to be honest with you, I've had to use that excuse before, and it was absolutely 100% accurate. Guidelines do change, and things can change at the snap of a finger. So if the last time that you talked with your loan officer was 30 days ago, check in. 60 days ago, 90 days ago, 6 months ago, oh, you probably need to reapply.
Yeah, definitely check in.
Yes. And it happens all the time. I mean, we've got clients, and no joke. I was just talking about this. I think I sent out like a sales update to the whole group. And, and I was talking to, I think you were, and when you were giving everybody the, hey, just ran into this about Experian, right? And I sent out an email and I'm like, you guys need to touch base with your pre-approvals. I mean, I have clients that have been looking for homes for 2 years. I had somebody reach out the other day that I've been talking to for 4 years. 4 years. Back in 2017, I kind of went on a rampage, right? I do that. So newest thing has been YouTube since the beginning of last year, 2020. My whole goal was to get these homebuyer workshops. I started those on YouTube in 19. Then in 2020, instead of doing the show at the radio station, I wanted to do it live on YouTube so that people could interact and ask their questions. So we started really, truly working on that YouTube channel early last year.
Right.
And, I lost my train of thought again. What were we talking about? See, this is truly life.
Everything changing.
Everything changing. Yeah. It's just, it's something that happens and it changes and the guidelines change. And, we were doing, in 2017, we were doing all of these workshops, right? But going out to locations. That's what I was talking about. And people were coming out to see us and they were sitting in these workshops and they were learning how to buy a house. And I still have a couple that came out to one of those workshops that are still reaching out to me with questions. And it's been 4 years. Right. So, if you're not checking in with your lender or with your loan officer, you have to. You have got every 30 days, check in and ask, is there anything that I need to do right now? Is there anything that I need to do right now? Do you need anything updated for me? What do I need to do? If you're not doing that, if you're not checking in, what you have, what you believe that you're qualified for could absolutely be invalid. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I mean, and I'll bring this up just simply because I know they won't mind.
Oh, good. I won't forget where I was going.
No.
Your turn to talk.
So my turn. Okay. So, we're doing a family friends loan, right? And we're good. We've got a DU approval where, they got into a house and then it fell through and all of a sudden in 2 weeks, the guidelines got stricter and what I had approved was no longer eligible.
Yeah.
And it was 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so of course I have to say, we need to reassess this. And, we're making it work.
Absolutely.
We're this far from closing.
Yes.
But just within 2 weeks, Fannie, Freddie, the guidelines got a little stricter. What they wanted was not exactly the same. We needed some more reserves, but it was just within 2 weeks and they had just put out another offer and just that quick.
Yeah, it changed.
Right.
Well, and that's one thing too. Again, we're trying to bring updates to you guys every week. Whatever we know is changing, whatever we're seeing is coming across our desk quite frequently that we want to make sure that everybody's aware of. And one of the things that did happen within the last 30 days is that Fannie Mae, and I want to say it's actually been about 3 weeks now, but Fannie has, and Freddie, they both tightened the risk engine. So when we talk about decision engines and running it through Fannie, running it through Freddie, you hear the words DU, you hear the words LP. LP is Freddie Mac, DU is Fannie Mae. When we run a decision, what we're doing is we're running your loan application, everything that we have input into the system, we are running through their computer system. and then we're getting an automated response of approve or not, right? And it's a little bit more detailed than that, but that's the way that it comes back to us. So when they tighten the risk engine, that is their risk engine. They're tightening up how much risk that they are willing to take on. So something that would have been approved 30 days ago with less money in reserves, lower credit score, higher debt to income ratio, today it might not be getting approved. And it changed. I'm going to tell you, I feel like it happened about 3 weeks ago. And maybe 2 weeks ago. I mean, it's been fairly recent. So
It was
again,
about 3 weeks ago.
yeah. So again, if
Yeah.
you haven't checked in with your loan officer and your pre-approval within the last 30 days, check in and make sure that
Yes.
that pre-approval that you have is still valid. If you have a credit score that is under 660, if you have a debt to income ratio that is over 44, and if you don't have a lot of reserves, you'd better get on the phone and call. And I'm going to tell you that those are kind of like those flashing red lights, those emergency buttons that should be going if you know your credit score is kind of on that lower end. You're kind of pushing the maximum of everything that you have in savings to get into this house, and your debt ratios are a little bit high. You better call.
Also, I would say if you're putting 5% down, less than 10% down, let's get on the phone.
Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah.
Without the high reserves, even if your credit score is 700, let's still get on the phone, because they're definitely, getting tighter in their risk of the lower down payment with the higher debt to income ratio with the lower reserves. So definitely, like Debbie said, if you haven't talked to your loan officer in 3 weeks or more, chat with them.
Yes. Absolutely. And if you chat with them and you get a bad response, then call us.
Yes.
Because we're going to do whatever we have to do, like Heidi had to do for her friend. We're gonna jump through all of the different hoops to make sure that we can get things tweaked to the point that we're hopefully get you moving on your way. So, we can't promise that, obviously, but that is our goal, and we're pretty darn good at saying yes when others say no. So definitely don't take a no and just think that you're done. Call Mortgage Mom Radio. Give us that opportunity. So how do you call us? That's important. So Heidi, how do they call us?
844. We lend for you. Lend for you.
844, we lend for you. That is LEND and the number 4. Get on the calendar. Let Matt transfer you over to a loan officer to talk to right away. If it's the weekend, just, leave a message or go to our website, mortgagemomradio.com, and schedule yourself an appointment. Whatever you need to do, you're going to get through. You're going to talk to somebody on the team. And I want you guys to understand that even if you don't talk to me directly, I am literally watching every single loan go through the pipeline. And so is Heidi. You've literally got 2 people on this show that are watching every single loan go through the pipeline. And every single pre-approval is being reviewed by me, whether it is Cindy's loan, Carrie's loan, Heather's loan, Larry's loan. I'm actually looking at the pre-approvals. And if it is your refinance or your live purchase that are moving forward, Heidi and Tiffany are actually going through those. So you have got the best of the best in the business that's actually doing the reviews for you. So give us that opportunity if you guys hear somebody say no. And instead of hearing somebody say no, just give us the opportunity right out the gates. I mean, why would you even try to go somewhere else? I'm just saying.
Start with the best from the beginning. It's so much easier.
It truly is. All right. So one thing that I do want to bring up really quick, off topic of mortgage and loans, are our past clients. So one thing that has come to our attention in January, I know, I'm so sorry. Before January, I didn't do this, and I just started in January. So number one, if you're listening, you're a big fan of the show, you closed a loan with us, and it was before January 2021, and you want a t-shirt, I want you to send an email to me. Number one, you have my email because you have talked with me before. Number two, you can go to the website and send a message right through the website. Number three, you guys, if you have the phone app, you can send an email right through the phone app. Number four, if you want to, you can send an email to questions@mortgagemomradio.com. But if you want a t-shirt, you closed a loan with me, I need you to just send me an email, and we will send you guys out the link to be able to order your t-shirt. If you closed a loan from January moving forward and did not get a link, We just found out this week that many of the way that we were sending the link out, if you had opted out of messages from Mortgage Mom Radio, so maybe you don't like our newsletters or whatever, if you opted out, you did not get the link after you closed the loan. So don't opt out, guys. If you're doing a loan with me, don't opt out. Or it went to your spam and you didn't get it, and it was the invitation for you to order a Mortgage Mom shirt. So if you did not get the invitation to order the shirt and you would like one, we want you guys to get it. So please send me an email, get in contact with us, let us know that you never got the link. We will get that for you so that you can get that order done. And if you closed a loan with me prior to 2021 and you would like a Mortgage Mom Radio t-shirt, I would love to get one for you. So please also reach out. Let me know that you would like a shirt, and we will get you guys a link so that you can get one ordered as well.
And Heather over on YouTube has stated, we need tank tops for summer. I think she's right.
I think she's right too. I do. And you know what else? I think that tank tops would be great if we ever get back to a point where there's Stagecoach again. I think Mortgage Mom Radio tank tops would be amazing. So every single time that we do an order, we have to close it out so we can get those orders that were made created and shipped out. So the next time that we actually make a new link, Matt, remind me, I need to make a Mortgage Mom Radio tank tops.
And you can follow Dad's example and have some koozies made as well.
We could do koozies. The other thing is that we could actually go way Dad, and you could just cut your sleeves off.
Right.
Hey, Dad, by the way, if you're still watching, your Father's Day gift came in. So we have your big vest. It's getting shipped out. My dad loves to wear those like vests that have like all the pockets all over it to carry everything. So Shane actually scored a really cool Cactus Jack one. So it's a collab. You know, Shane does all the shoe stuff. But with Michael Jordan and Cactus Jack, whoever he is. Do you know?
The only Cactus Jack I know is a wrestler from the 90s. So
I'm trying to remember. Manny probably knows, and he's probably already left for the day. Somebody out there knows exactly what I'm talking about, but it's a collab with two people that are super, super duper. One, well, Jordan, everybody knows Jordan. The other one, I don't remember who it is, but it's some big person today that everybody knows. Anyway, so it's this really cool jacket, and it's got all the stuff. So we're getting that out.
Like the fisherman vest.
Yes. It's like a fisherman construction kind of vest, and it's got all the pockets, and he could put his knife here and his gun there and his keys here and his wallet there, and sometimes that is like that's in place of the fanny pack. He doesn't have to wear the fanny pack.
Aunt Pam.
Sorry, Dad.
Aunt Pam said she got her shirts and she loves them.
Ah, good. I'm happy that you did. Every single time I see Aunt Pam on Marco Polo, she's in a Mortgage Mom Radio shirt. I absolutely love it. I got a call from not a call. I got a text message yesterday from one of our very, very, very favorite clients, Mary Reagan, and she actually got her Mortgage Mom Radio shirt, and she sent me a text message yesterday, and she said, "I just posted it to Facebook," and it was her, and she was like this.
Oh, we love her.
I loved
She's
it.
awesome.
I loved it. And if you guys are listening on radio Saturday morning, you guys can't see what I just did. You have no idea what I was doing with the thumbs up and a really funny face. So you have to watch us on Facebook. You guys have to go to, or not Facebook. Well, you can watch. I haven't said that in a long time. You guys can watch through Facebook if that's the platform that you want to watch through. We are streaming live to Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube all at the same time. There is more going on YouTube. We seem to have more people that watch live at the same time and putting more comments and questions into YouTube over Facebook. So if you like them all and you've got all of the different platforms, YouTube would be the better place to go so that you can see more of the interactions. We just seem to have more people watching from that platform. But you can watch us at all three. But we do want you guys to watch live. We want you to see us do it. We want you to interact. We want you to ask us questions. We want you to tell us things. We want you to laugh at us. We want you to make jokes. That is the whole point of doing it live so that we can get your interaction into the show. So what do? You go to YouTube. You subscribe to the channel. So you search for Mortgage Mom Radio. You subscribe to the channel. You click that notification bell, and then you click all. And that will let you know when we go live so that you don't miss an episode. And that will let you put your questions into the feed, and we are going to answer them for you live. And then always, 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 we love our radio listeners. We love you guys too. And we know you got a lot of you just, it's your Saturday morning on the way to work drive. And we absolutely love that. And thank you so much for always listening. But you can find us on podcasts. So if you only get a portion of the show and you're actually in the market to do a refinance or a purchase, you might want to actually get to the podcast, go to YouTube and watch all of the shows or watch as many of them as you feel like. Binge the episodes for the Home Buyer Workshop. So make sure you go to the playlist, look for Home Buyer Workshop 2021. I promise next week I'm going to get to the next workshop, which is number 13. So be looking for us to upload a new video for that. So you have to be subscribed to the channel to know that we uploaded a new workshop, and you have to know that way when we go live. So anyway, I don't have anything else to say for the day. Do you have anything else you want to comment on, or we didn't talk about anything important, Heidi?
No, honestly, just say we've got a lot of purchases going on, a lot of stuff going on out there, and just stay connected. Make sure you're asking a lot of questions. And I get this a lot. So I'll say one thing. Don't ever apologize for calling and asking questions.
No.
I get our clients all the time. I'm so sorry for bothering you. But one, I want to be really clear. This is what we do for a living. And I'm at work and you're asking me questions about your loan. And every time we get to educate someone, that is what we love doing. I love to be able to answer the questions so that everyone feels comfortable in the transaction that they're doing or that they're going to be doing in the future, hopefully. So please don't apologize and don't wait and don't worry and don't wonder if you should have asked. Pick up
Just
the phone.
ask. Yes.
Ask.
Just ask. Please ask. Yes.
Yes.
Definitely. I like that. That was a good piece of advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is our job to answer those questions. Absolutely. No question is a dumb question ever. And if you hold it in and don't ask because you're afraid that you're bothering us, then you're just going to worry. You're going to stew on it. I know Heidi knows what that's all about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she stews on things instead of just asking.
I do.
Anyway, but you are going to stew on things. It's going to bother you. And if you would have just picked up the phone or sent an email, and email is great because you can get out all of your questions. You could have 10 of them and you ask all 10 questions and you get a reply back with all of the answers under each question in red. I mean, but it makes it so much easier. It really does. And it makes you feel better. You know, you're in the right hands. You know, you're getting things handled. You understand the transaction. You know how the process is going. You know what you need to do next. So no, that was actually a great piece of advice, Heidi. And I know we've said it in previous shows, kind of part of my whole thing with if you're thinking about getting into the zone of buying a house or refinancing, you might want to go back and listen to some of the older shows because the more knowledge and information that you have, the easier that it's going to make that transaction.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, Deb's great on email. Email's perfect for her. She can be very detailed. She can answer everything. Me, I'm a phone girl. Pick up the phone, ask me a question. I've got a detailed question. I want to talk to you about it because maybe I'm going to miss something in my interpretation of my question. So however you want to ask the questions or you want to go over things, someone here is available for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing I think really good part of our, I think just to talk about our actual Mortgage Mom Radio, right? So our group or whatever you want to call us.
Our team.
Our team. Yeah. I was like, whatever you want to call us. I don't know. But when you send an email out, as long as you hit reply all every single time, never just reply because reply goes back to the last person that sent you an email. But if you hit reply all, you will have Heidi, Debbie, and Tiffany and Manny, who's doing a lot of the work on the backside for you guys. You will have all four of us, plus your loan officer, on every single email that gets sent. So whether or not you see Carrie's Dream Team or Heather's Dream Team or Larry's Dream Team or Cindy's Dream Team, that's all you might see in that address. But that is actually going out to every single one of us. So if it is an email that needs to be very detailed in response, like Heidi said, I love those. I'm going to respond all day long. If it's something that you have a quick question and you want to call, you may end up talking to your loan officer. You may end up talking to Heidi. You may end up talking to me. And there is not one person that you cannot ask for to talk to directly. So we're all here for you. We are all watching every single loan that goes through the transaction. We truly are one of the very best teams out there. I believe that wholeheartedly to my core. You know, I'm giving myself and Heidi and everybody else on my team a pat on the back. We're here to work for you. We're here to help you. And we don't want you guys to feel like we're too big, we're too busy, and that you're not important. Every single person that listens to this show, whether it's through podcast, YouTube, or live on radio, you guys are all important. And every single one of you get handled and taken care of exactly the same way. And that doesn't matter which person that you actually got on the phone from day one. You are getting Debbie and Heidi that you are listening to every single week. So I just want to try to drive that home to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
And Houseboat Billy has joined us on YouTube. Good evening, ladies. While somebody has been getting some sun. Looking good as usual, girls.
Wow, Heidi. You've been getting some sun, says Houseboat Billy. You've been on Billy's houseboat?
I wish someone could take me on a houseboat.
I know.
I don't know if my husband would like that, but
Houseboat Billy, you got to tell me. So do you have a houseboat you own, or you just truly love houseboating? So we need you to put something in the feed right now. We've just got to know. And
Right.
when you do houseboat, whether you live on one permanently, you own one somewhere, which if you own one, we all got to get your number. Or you just do vacations once a year. Maybe that's one of your things. You and the family go to Powell every year or Shasta. Where do you like to go? Where's your favorite houseboat trip? We've got to know. So anyway, you got to put that into the feed for us and let us know. And that is just one thing I want to drive home one more time for you guys listening on Saturday morning. If you guys want to be part of the conversation, you want us to get to know who you are, you've got to watch us on YouTube. You've got to subscribe to the channel. You got to click that notification bell and turn on those notifications so that you do know when we go live. And that way we actually get to know who you are right through the feed. So anyway, I hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your week. If you're listening on the weekend, I hope it's been a fantastic weekend or getting off to be a fantastic weekend. When is Memorial Day? We're on next week and then we're off, right? I'm pretty sure we've got next week we're on, the week after we're off.
Right. There's no show on the 26th.
Okay. So we are back next week. If you guys want to interact with us and do it with us live, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you get ready. Put yourself some sort of notification to get on with us. That's going to be next week on Wednesday. Then the week after that, we're going to actually take that off for the holiday, and then we'll be back after that. So we hope you all have a great one. Reach out to the office, schedule the appointment, go to the website. You can do anything you need there, mortgagemomradio.com, and we'll be back next week. We'll talk to y'all later.
Have a great week.
All
Bye.
right. Bye-bye.